Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. It seems like foreseen Diddy C.S. the glare is turning out to be as well, much to deal with Envision, a man at the very top of his game, in the music business credited for molding a time and accumulating a stunning fortune out of nowhere, confronting a fountain of allegations and embarrassments that take steps to obliterate all that he fabricated. How can somebody go from being a hip-bound symbol to sitting in a court battling for his opportunity and notoriety? I think in government court and for these charges, they would agree that it's normal. However, in the public domain, this is exceptionally huge, just from who we partner, did he being what's more. All that we've seen him do over the many years, like you said, this is very the defeat to go from. I mean, we saw the houses back in spring that were struck by the federal authorities, so to go from living in those manners to being in the prison cell, right, to comprehend how completely Diddy's story spiraled into what many are calling one of the most surprising destructions in music history. You need to return and inspect the domain he made. His image, Awful Kid Records, wasn't simply a record mark. It was a social force to be reckoned with specialists like the famous Huge Confidence Evans, and even up-and-coming stars. Diddy's vision didn't just put hit records on the outlines, it made a whole development. ANS didn't simply pay attention to the music, they lived it. Terrible Kid wasn't a name, it was a personality, a mentality, a lifestyle. For millions through this brand, Diddy collected an endlessly assessed nine-figure fortune, making him quite possibly of the most extravagant figures in hip bounce. Yet the higher you climb, the core of the fall, and presently, an ever-increasing number of upsetting subtleties arise. His domain shows up more delicate than at any point brought Sean Diddy Combs into care. He found in this video entering the recreation area Hyatt Inn in Midtown Manhattan with others. When specialists from Country Security Investigation approach and separate him, they spot Combs collared and lead him out the front entryway in cuffs. The murders and reports began as only those little voices to a great extent. However, when the allegations started to stack up, it became difficult to disregard press. As companions, representatives, and even close partners are approaching each other, disclosing a hazier side of Diddy's world, where popularity and fortune impacted with mystery and power in manners that are both stunning and upsetting for a man who once appeared to be unapproachable. The truth presently is that he's being painted as somebody who utilized status to control, furthermore, control resulting in a path of harm behind him. This must be a 100% culture shock. I can't envision carrying on with a way of life of the unquestionably rich and well-known, and then going into this exceptionally dim, unoriginal, cold, austere office. Now we should bring Jay-Z into the image just by notice of his name. Flashes, unending conversations, and correlations. All things considered, he's apparently the main other individual in hip jump who remains on a similar level as Diddy. The two men have assembled heritages that have extended a long way past music. They've moved into business, amusement, and charity, each making a realm. Yet here's where things get confounded. While Jay-Z has kept on rising, conforming to brand organizations. What's more, adventures that raise his impact, Diddy's heritage, is currently damaged by discussion and in a development that nobody might have anticipated. Jay-Z has presently consented to affirm against his previous companion, an extraordinary move that igniting bits of gossip about selling out Retribution and Power Snatch after they are finished with Diddy. Jay-Z is up close to being uncovered, right? A few insiders accept Jay-Z's choice to affirm isn't simply a moral decision with an organization and power base that adversaries Diddy's. Jay-Z has his own plan, and some suspect he's utilizing the embarrassment to dispense with his greatest adversary. Consider it two men who once teamed up on cause occasions for business arrangements and, surprisingly, social causes. Currently find themselves on far edges of one of the greatest discussions in later history. When Jay-Z stands up, it's not just about equity, it's about the moving overall influence in the industry. In a domain based on impact, anybody who disrupts the general flow can find themselves pushed good and gone, and for Jay-Z, this could be a definitive potential chance to eliminate Diddy from his high position. Controlled each part of her life he is blamed for as often as possible, beating her and would consent all her in lodgings for a really long time until the swelling and indications of misuse were gone. The hostility between these two monsters could have appeared incomprehensible only a couple of years prior. However, ongoing occasions recommend that their past joint efforts might have been less about brotherhood and more about methodology. These weren't simply business arrangements. They were power moves coordinated to solidify impact and command over a whole industry, while the public watched them as accomplices. Insiders guaranteed that behind the scenes, there was consistently and fundamental contest. Now, with Jay-Z's choice to affirm, the inquiry on everybody's brain is whether this is essentially about standing up or, on the other hand, assuming there's a determined arrangement at work. Recollect. Like, I couldn't say whether you know what his voice seems as though, however, like I felt like I was in a presence of his beast inside in any case. Diddy's fall out of favor doesn't stop there. His GED systems administration occasions have become scandalous because of reasons that don't have anything to do with business. The charges of wild social affairs, where acclaim and intemperance purportedly blended openly, are a long way from the flawless public picture Diddy attempted to project. As per a few previous participants and representatives, these occasions were everything except guiltless. They depicted an existence where power games were the genuine amusement. What's more, organizing implied something by and large, unique picture elaborate elite social events loaded up with superstars, top leaders, and family names generally partake in occasions that push limits in manners that, as it were, those with outrageous impact can make do repat with incredibly difficult and lascivious charges, including charges that Combs had cameras all through his home. It was at these social occasions that insiders guarantee that Diddy's conduct started to cause a commotion. Previous participants have recapped accounts of high-profile superstars and popular visitors who left feeling uncomfortable, understanding that their thought process would be a marvelous occasion was something different altogether. What happens in these circles stays stowed away. They express safeguarded by power. What's more, impact, yet presently, with declarations emerging and past participants talking up, the general population is starting to see past the sparkling veneer. What once appeared like world-class parties is presently being uncovered as something far hazier. Well, on the off chance that he truly was recording everyone, let me see. I mean, he had many individuals at those parties, right? Diddy isn't the only one in this circle of disgrace. His associations with other disputable figures like Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly have become visible, mixing considerably more doubt. While there's no substantial proof connecting him straightforwardly to their activity, his affiliation with these notorious characters has powered theory about what, truth be told, happens in the background on the planet of music. Mole's Bits of Gossip proposes that Diddy's nearby binds with these figures weren't simply friendly, they were essential for a concealed organization where every part had a job to carry out. To some, Diddy's associations with these shamed figures feel like bits of a riddle indicating a side of the business that is as clandestine as it is evil. And Stacy, you say the present prosecution peruses like a crowd arraignment. What was generally surprising to you about this multitude of claims? Better believe the reality, Jake, that the public authority in this arraignment introduced proof charging that Sean Conn was running a criminal undertaking. The Epstein and R. Kelly associations has simply served to escalate public interest, making an image of an underground world governed by implicit guidelines and subtle provocations. It's the sort of reality where prominent figures stay discreet and safeguard each other's advantages, and anybody who doesn't conform gambles being projected out. The possibility that Diddy may have been important for such an organization is enough to send chills down anybody's spine, and presently, as the outrage unfolds, individuals are left addressing exactly how profound his associations went, and what these affiliations went, and what these affiliations truly implied. The tales are that Diddy was running some sort of Epstein-type bargain where he was shooting everyone right. That is the bits of gossip. No doubt I don't realize that there's any evidence of something besides that. And afterward, there's the hypothesis that has taken the web by storm. The possibility that Diddy and Jay-Z were all along arranging occasions in the business is a mystery. Mannequin aces. As per this, these two didn't simply make music domains. They controlled vocations, concluded who might rise and who might fall, and eliminated any individual who represented a danger to their predominant. Virtual entertainment is loaded with posts analyzing everything from meetings to honorary pathway minutes, with everyone guessing whether there's truth behind that. Diddy and Jay-Z controlled the business like puppets on a phase. Do you accept? Diddy is a risky individual. Indeed, I accomplished for a really long time. Fans have taken apart everything they might do, searching for indications of this secret show of dominance. Minutes that once appeared to be innocuous, a side look, a handshake, an unobtrusive gesture, currently take on new importance, as individuals dive into old film, persuaded they're revealing hints to a scheme that has been concealing in plain sight, and as Diddy's reality starts to disintegrate, these speculations have just acquired energy filled by the way that his greatest partners appear to be leaving him at his absolute bottom now. So what is straight away, is he going to be in prison in this office until the preliminary starts? Is there an opportunity he might use at some point? Subscribe Apple World for more videos.